Let me ask you a question. Why are you making games? Think about it for a second and I'll go first. A little less than a year ago, I worked a very boring corporate job in, one of those drab offices where there was fluorescent lighting that your head hurts from if you sit in it for too long. It was like cubicle based, and all my colleagues were about 10 to 20 or even 30 years older than me. So I didn't really have anything in common with them or anything to talk with them about. My job was also getting less flexible. It used to be that I could just, go to Dubai for 2 weeks and work from there without an issue. Now suddenly I had to go to the office 2 or 3 times a week, which was a horrible commute because it took about 2 hours if I didn't leave at 5 a.m. in the morning or if I didn't go home after like 7 p.m. So I would often go at like 5:30 a.m. to the office and then stay there until 7 p.m. Wouldn't see the sun basically the entire day, just come home, sleep, and then repeat the next time I had to go to the office. One thing I was doing back then, but not really that deeply yet, was I was making these YouTube videos, very basic, 1 upload a week, and we had 200 subscribers, so not really that much. And I was working on our own game, Forge Industry, back then, which was just a dream compared to the fact that we've actually released it a few months ago. But what I learned there is that I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to have a community, or I wanted to have colleagues where they were much younger than me, where I could actually talk about something other than their kids. And I also just wanted to have more flexibility again and find new passion in my job, because technically, all of the technical stuff of my job I loved. But it was the people and the kind of work that I suddenly had to do, which was sales calls with very old men as well, usually very high level IT people. I wasn't enjoying that. So in February of this year, I decided I was going to quit my job. I gave him my notice and then I became a game developer. I've been fueled ever since then by the fact that I'd had that job, I had those experiences, and I don't want to do them again. Don't get me wrong, I was earning 100,000 euros a year almost, which is crazy money for someone who hadn't even been working 3 years at that point, but it just wasn't worth it. I had different whys instead of just make a bunch of money, and that's what drove me to do game development. Something that I miss a lot when I talk to you people and you ask me for advice is that why. So in this video, I want to talk a bit more about the importance of why you're a game developer. I feel like this is something that's completely overlooked, and because it's a bit what do you mean the why of I'm a game developer? Because I want to make games, of course, but it's so much more than that. And how strong your why is directly correlates to how much work you'll actually be doing on your games, how much progress you'll be making, and how successful you're going to be as a game developer. So I really want to stress this as much as possible. Watch this video. If there's any video you're watching, watch this one and follow along and figure out what is your why. If I'm taking a guess, your why is probably because you grew up playing a lot of games, you were maybe an only child and your parents weren't always home, so you were glued to a screen and your childhood has been very defined by games. You're getting a bit older now, you maybe have already an IT job and you're hey, let me see how hard it is to actually make some games. And that's a reason, that's a why to start making games. Or maybe you just wanted to do this as a hobby, or you're a stay-at-home mom or dad who just needs something to fill in the time. Those are all good reasons, but they're not strong reasons. They're not what gets you up in the morning. And I think it's really hard with these soft whys to actually make a lot of progress, because there's not that much at stake. If you miss a day of development, it's hey, whatever. But I also see a lot of developers who have this soft why and are hey, I'm gonna go full time now all of a sudden, just because they wanted to make games and it's time for a change. I think this is a recipe for disaster, because if your only reason of making games is because you maybe playing games and you want to make games, you're not going to be able to finish a game and you're not going to be able to go and keep working. During game development, there will be ups and downs in how much passion you have and how good things are going. And your why is your lighthouse. Your why is the thing that gets you up in the morning. It's not about discipline. It's not about, motivation. It's not about having a good planning. All of these things you can do. But if you don't have a solid why as to why are you a game developer, really why, then you're not going to get as much success. I can guarantee you that right now. My whys are really strong, if I say so myself. So my primary whys are, I wanted to be surrounded by more younger people in a younger industry. Okay, that's fine. That's nothing too crazy. I could have gone to a AAA company then as well, or figured out something else. Second why is I wanted that remote work flexibility. This is a bit harder to do if you go to a traditional company, so it's also more of a, game dev specific one. I've already used it before. For example, I've gone to Japan for 2 months earlier this year, and I just worked as a game dev from there, and it was amazing. I want to do that one as much as possible, and that's already a stronger why. But then what I also have that is probably the strongest why, and that may seem a bit extreme even if you're like hearing this now, is I want to prove everyone wrong. Because we originally went to some game dev related events and we were almost laughed at because, you know, oh, you're just someone who doesn't really have any experience. You didn't go to our game dev school. There's like one game dev school here in Belgium, DAE. If you don't go there, nobody takes you serious. We just had like an IT background. And I was like, you know, screw all of you. I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna outperform you. I'm gonna beat you so hard in terms of revenue, in terms of making games, that you're gonna suddenly have to respect me, even though you may think less of me because I didn't get a game dev related degree. And maybe even the strongest one, which I developed later on as this YouTube channel grew, is I got this sense of purpose and responsibility of this audience. I wanted to show to 10,000 people at this point, even more, that the game dev dream is still alive. That if I can do it with barely any background, with just, you know, hard work and actually putting in the work and giving it my all, you can still become a successful indie. That's what gets me up in the morning. If you compare those two whys, you know, I want to make games for fun versus I want to influence tens of thousands of people and like show them that the indie dream is still alive. Well, which why do you think is going to get you out of bed in the morning when, you know, you didn't sleep as well, or maybe you're getting a little bit sick, or just in general study topics that you don't really like 3D modeling or coding, things like that? There's a very big difference there. So this why is so important. If I feel like I'm slacking, which on this channel, I have documented multiple times that there were periods in time where I didn't really want to work. I wanted to give up on our game and I just wanted to, I don't know, go back to the easy life of, you know, my old job. I just had to look and like imagine the look of like, you know, all of my haters, so to say, telling me that I'm never gonna make it in game dev and I'll get motivated again. I just have to imagine all of you guys being heavily disappointed because I suddenly disappeared without like any trace of me. Like the dream is dead. These things get me up and these things make sure that I can work hard. Probably a bit too hard at some points, but honestly, I don't care. I am working and I am fulfilling my why. I've already booked my trip to Japan next year because now I know I have that freedom, I have that availability. So I'm just going to do it. I'm actually accomplishing my why, and that just adds fuel to the fire. And honestly, this applies to everyone. Whether you are just doing this for fun, okay, or you're maybe considering, you know, you're stuck like me in a dead-end job and you're like, I kind of want to do game development, or maybe you already quit your job and you're like, I am becoming a full-time game developer, but things aren't going as good as I was hoping for. The big problem you have is that your why isn't strong enough. So what I really encourage you is to be brutally honest and write out your why. Just be like, this is the actual reason. No matter who you are or like what you want to do with game dev. The number one trick to actually working more isn't the schedule or isn't motivation or isn't creating like systems, not goals. It's having a really strong why. It's knowing why are you developing games? And the more raw you have it, the easier it will be to go through those harder times. The easier it will be to be disciplined. So what I really ask you now is to be honest and to write down either on a piece of paper or if you really feel like it in the comments, what is your why? Why are you a game developer? And is this really a strong why? If it's just, I want to make games for fun or I want to learn a new engine, that's fine, but know that it's not going to be enough to become an accomplished indie developer. A weaker why won't make you suddenly research like different marketing strategies for your game because you just wanted to make the game, not like advertise the game. Whereas if your why is, I want to have commercial success with my game so I can do all of these things, you will look into the more boring stuff like marketing or accounting because you understand the value of these things. So I'm just gonna say it one more time. Focus on that why and make it as strong as possible. Probably you didn't even think about this why, so I really urge you to really consider it. That's pretty much what I want to say. A bit of a different video. I feel a bit more direct. I'm not sure. I'm trying out new stuff as well. But this is something that I've encountered with a lot of developers that reach out to me, and I figured I would just make a video about it because I can make 10 videos as well about, you know, making the perfect scheduler using a Kanban board, and I probably will at some point, but there's no value in making those videos now if I don't address the root problem, which is a strong why. If you're new around here, we're game developers, we've made our own game, we're making more games, and I am, as I said, trying to inspire as many game developers as possible that the indie dream is still possible. So if you're interested in that, be sure to head down below and subscribe as we get these videos twice a week. In exchange, I get your support and I know that I am accomplishing my why and that I am on the right way to teach you as much as possible. That's all I really have to say. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!